Hello and welcome. We continue our journey of education in South Africa. Watch this video to learn about the academic year, application process, and admission requirements in South Africa's education system. If you are curious and interested in understanding how education works in South Africa, you are welcome to join us. Let's look at some common words that are generally used and some are innocently assumed to mean the same. But let's look at the specificity of these words and their actual meaning in the context of accessing education in South Africa. Application, registration, and enrollment. These are the words which are sometimes used interchangeably, although they don't necessarily mean the same, or their application is different. Let's look at application. Application refers to the process of submitting a formal request or expression of interest to be considered for admission, participation, or a specific role. Example: when applying to a college, you would typically fill out an application form, providing information about your academic background, achievements, and other relevant details. Registration. Registration usually comes after the acceptance of an application. It involves signing up or officially enrolling in a program, course, event, or membership. For example, after being accepted to a university, you would proceed to register for specific courses for an upcoming semester. Enrollment. This is the formal process of officially joining or becoming a member of a particular institution, program, or class. For example, once you have registered for a course, you are considered enrolled in those courses for the duration of the academic term. In summary, the application is the initial step where you express your interest. Registration follows acceptance and involves signing up for a specific offering. And enrollment is the final step where you become an official participant or member of the institution or program. Keep in mind that these terms might be used differently in various contexts. So it's always a good idea to refer to specific guidelines provided by the relevant institution or organization. Let's look at another important wording or important phase, which is application window. The application window for university admission in South Africa can vary depending on the specific university and the level of study. That can be undergraduate or postgraduate. However, in general, the application process for undergraduate studies at South African universities often opens in the year before the intended year of study. That means a year before the actual year. Let's look at the application window for schools. Remember, we have schools, we have TVET colleges, we have institutions of higher learning or universities. The application period for South African schools can vary depending on the type of school and the level of education. In general, there isn't a universal window of applications for all schools in South Africa, as different schools and education levels may have their own timelines. For public schools, especially at the primary and secondary levels, admissions often take place at the beginning of the school year, which typically starts in January. However, it's essential to check the specific school or the education department in the province for accurate and up-to-date information. Private schools may have different application periods, and some may admit students throughout the year. Private schools often have their own admission processes and deadlines, so it's advisable to contact the individual schools directly or visit their official websites for detailed information on application timelines. In summary, there isn't a single window of applications for all South African schools. It's crucial to check with the specific school or institution you are interested in for accurate and up-to-date information on the application timelines and processes. Application window for TVET colleges. The application processes and deadlines for TVET colleges in South Africa may vary. Application window for university undergraduate. Main intake for the academic year. Applications for the main intake of the academic year often open in the months of April to June of the preceding year. For example, if you plan to study university in 2025, you might need to apply in the first half of 2024. Mid-year intake, second semester. Some universities may offer a mid-year intake for certain programs, and the application period for this intake typically occurs in the first few months of the academic year, January to March. It's important to note that these are general trends, and specific universities may have variations in their application periods. Application window for postgraduate studies. The application window for postgraduate studies in South African universities can vary depending on the institution, the specific program, and whether you are applying for a master's, doctoral, or other postgraduate qualification. The general timeline for postgraduate applications in South African universities may include the following. Main intake for the academic year. Similar to undergraduate studies, the main intake for postgraduate studies often opens several months before the start of the academic year. This period typically falls between April and June of the preceding year. Mid-year intake or second semester. Some universities may have a mid-year intake for postgraduate programs, and the application period for this intake often occurs in the first few months of the academic year, which is usually January to March. Research-based programs. For research-based postgraduate programs, especially at master's and doctoral levels, application windows can be more flexible. Students interested in these programs may need to contact potential supervisors or research departments to discuss research proposals and available positions. It's crucial to check the official website of the specific university and the department or faculty offering the postgraduate program you are interested in. The application process for postgraduate studies may involve additional steps such as submitting research proposals, obtaining letters of recommendation, and meeting specific academic and research criteria. This brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe. Let's meet in the next video.